Hello, I'm Laiba, and today, alongside with Ariba and Manahil, I will be introducing you to the Caesar cipher, a classic encryption method that forms the basis of our C programming project. This technique represents one of the earliest form of secret communication, where each letter in a message is shifted by a fixed number of positions, known as a key. While simple, it perfectly demonstrates the fundamental principle of encryption that underpin modern cryptography. Historical background. The historical background of the cipher is quite remarkable. It was personally used by Julius Caesar to protect his military communication from enemies. As one of the first documented substitution ciphers, it introduced the revolutionary concept of key based message transformation. This basic idea of shifting letters within the alphabet laid the groundwork for all the subsequent development in cryptographic systems. Basic concept of Caesar cipher. The mechanism behind the cipher is elegantly simple. A predetermined key, let's say 3, shifts every letter forward by that many positions in the alphabet. The system handles case sensitivity and uses modular arithmetic to wrap around when reaching the end of the alphabet. Non alphabetic characters remain unchanged, preserving the message structure. This straightforward approach makes it ideal for educational implementation in programming. Importance in cryptography. Despite its simplicity, the Caesar cipher remains crucial in cryptography education. It refers as a perfect model for understanding substitution ciphers and emphasizes the critical role of encryption key. More importantly, its limitation of only 25 possible keys clearly demonstrate why modern encryption requires massive key spaces for true security. Studying this cipher helps us appreciate the evolution towards more robust system like AES that covers the fundamental concept of Caesar cipher. Next, Manahil will demonstrate the actual encryption and decryption implementation in our C program. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Laba, for a wonderful introduction. Now, as Laba mentioned, I am going to explain to you the two fundamental functions of our Caesar cipher mini project, which are the encrypt and the decrypt function. Well, both of these functions take two input parameters, which is the message that we have to encrypt or decrypt and the shift key. Let's walk through the encrypt function first. The encrypt formula is simple. It just adds the key into each of the characters as it loops through and take the modulo. Let's break this down. First, it converts each letter to its position, which happens right here, as it subtracts the ASCII value of uppercase A from the character and in lowercase case subtracts the value of lowercase a from the character, so that the position of our characters always remains between 0 and 25. Next thing it does, we add our key value to each position, which happens right here. After we subtract it and we get the value between 0 and 25, we add the key which was given to us by the user. Well, if you think about it, here we just had our problem solved. Everybody was happy. World was a better place again. But why did we add a modulo 26? This is the most important part, the modulo 26 operation. Well, when we add the key into the character, it moves the key number of times forward within the alphabet, right? So what if sometimes if the key is really large and we are exceeding the 25 limit, right? What if we are getting way far ahead of the 25, but we only have 26 characters in the English alphabet, right? So modulo gives us the remainder after division, but it works a little differently in mathematics and programming. In programming here, if our result exceeds 25, that is status plus key, if it is equal to greater than 26, then it wraps around to the very beginning of the program. For example, if we are to encrypt the alphabet Z, we have, and let's assume that we have the key 3. where are we going to go? If we didn't have the modulo function, it would give us an error. But in here, what is going to happen? It's going to wrap around and start again from A. And in the end, we just convert the position back into the letter by adding the value that we subtracted in the first step. Now, let's talk about the decrypt function. Now, as the name suggests, it is going to be the complete reverse of the encrypt function. It also takes two input parameters, the same, the message that we have to decrypt, and the key that we input from the user, so that we know on which key do we have to decrypt the message. To get our original message back, we have to reverse this process, right? We have to revert the process of encryption. So what we do here, we take our encrypted text and convert letters to position, just like we did in the encrypt. We subtract the uppercase A if the letters are uppercase, and lowercase a if the letter is a lowercase. Now, what we do, instead of adding, we subtract the key from the status. Well, in encryption, we move the key number of times forward within the alphabet, but in decryption, we move the key number of times backward within the alphabet, so that we can decrypt the message and read the plain text. Now, if you think about it, whenever there is a negative sign involved, you are likely to get a negative number. Well, why? This is crucial. This is where it comes that why do we add a 26? When we subtract, we might get a negative number. Negative numbers break the modulo operation. It gives us the wrong value. It is a logical error. So we add 26 first to ensure we are always positive, so that our modulo operation doesn't break. And then there's the same modulo operation as before, as we did in the encrypt, and in the end the same as we added the uppercase A back into the position, so that it gives us the correct ASCII value and not some gibberish text, so that we can read the plain text. Well, that was it for the encrypt and the decrypt function. Now Ariba is going to explain to you the brute force function and how Caesar cipher is not exactly a very reliable security choice nowadays. Thank you.
Now I will explain the brute force function of our Caesar cipher program. Brute force approach for crypt analysis. Brute force attempt all possible key shifts from 1 to 25 to decode the message, generating every potential plain text. This method works because the Caesar cipher has a limited key space. It demonstrates how simple ciphers can be vulnerable without additional complexity, emphasizing the importance of more secure encryption techniques. Now here is a small demo of our Caesar cipher brute force. This output demonstrates the brute force attack method on a Caesar cipher. Our goal is to decrypt a message when a secret key is unknown. The method we are choosing here is brute force. After method, we enter any message we want to decrypt. The tool automatically generates all 25 possible shifts from key 1 to 25 for the English alphabets. A list of all possible plain text messages will be the output. The user must manually scan the output list to find the line that forms a readable coherent message. In this list, the readable message is message number 3. This is a text which corresponds to shift number 3. Now I will explain the code and run it to see the output. Start the function named brute force. It takes a string message and returns nothing. Find new character R in message and stores the number in length. Here we are using string length to find the length of the message and store it into a variable called length. Here we are declaring two new variables to hold the letter numeric position and the shifted position. Create a counter loop I to go through each character. make a temporary array to hold a copy of the message. While we change it, it can hold up to 499 characters plus null character. Now here we are using loop to try every cipher shift from 1 to 25. Each j is one possible key. We shift 0 because that's the original text. Here we are using string copy that copies the original message into temporary copy. So each attempt starts from the original text. Here we are using another loop for each character position in the string from 0 to length -1. Read the current character into character to check or change it. Here we are applying condition. If character is an uppercase letter from A to Z, do the uppercase shifting. Status is equals to character minus character A. Convert the letter to a number 0 to 25. This subtract the shift J to decrypt, add 26 and modulo 26 to wrap around if it goes negative. This converts the number back to an upper letter and put it into a copy. Otherwise, if character is a lower letter from small a to small z, do lowercase shifting. Convert the lowercase letter to a number 0 to 25. This subtracts the shift j and wrap around with plus 26 and modulo 26. This converts the next number back to a lowercase letter and store it. This prints the result of this shift attempt, a candidate plain text. Print a new line to each attempt appears on its own. Now run it. So we are using choice number 3, brute force. We are entering the message. So you can see it prints all 25 possible shifts. So we can scan the list and find what will be the readable message. Okay, so the third last message from the list, hello. This message is the readable and coherent message with shift number 3. So this is how the brute force works. Now, if we come to conclusion, the Caesar cipher is a simple but important educational tool that shows the basic ideas of encryption and decryption. Implementing it in C helps us see how programming can be used for cryptography. However, because it is so simple, it has weaknesses which highlight why modern communication systems need modern and more stronger, secure encryption systems like AES, because they have large shift keys that can take even a computer around a billion years to decrypt. Thank you.